I'm going to show you in less than 3 minutes how to make 4 times the money without doing any extra work than what you're doing right now. I'm going to explain this using Pareto's principle, also known as the 80-20 principle, which most of you have heard of. If you haven't heard of it, very simply, 80% of your results are coming from 20% of your inputs. Let me tell you exactly how this is done. Let's say you're making $100,000 a year, okay? 80% of your results, that's $80,000, is coming from 20% of your effort, okay? 20% of your time, you're making $100,000 and you're working 40 hours a week. 20% of your time is how much? 8 hours. 8 hours of your 40-hour week is producing $80,000 of your money. 8 hours per week, that is, of your 40-hour week is producing $80,000 of your $100,000. Now, 20% of that means, again, 8 hours. We take that 8 hours. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to multiply that 8 hours by 5, because 8 hours multiplied by 5 equals 40 hours. So we take the 8 hours that you're working every week that is producing most of the money, and now we're going to spend the entire 40 hours only doing what you were doing during those 8 hours. You get it? So I'm not telling you work 40 hours a day. I'm saying 8 hours a week that is producing all your money. Now you're going to spend the whole 40 hours only doing the things that you were doing during those 8 hours, because that's producing most of the money, the 80 grand. Now you may be saying, Dre, you just took me from 100 grand to 80 grand. That's a problem. But no, it's not a problem, because now we're going to take that 8 hours that used to be 8 out of 40. We're going to make it 40 out of 40. So now the things that are producing $80,000 are going to multiply that by 5. You multiply that 8 hours work by 5. Now that 100,000 becomes $400,000. Everybody see the math here. Went from $100,000 a year, and 80% of it, $80,000, is coming from 20% of your efforts. We take that 20% and multiply it. We're going to cut out the other 80%. You're going to drop that 80%. You can delegate that off or hire that out to somebody else. You're going to spend that 20% of time. Now spend all of your time doing that. That's going to multiply your results by 5. That's how $80,000 becomes $400,000. And that is because we're all focused on effectiveness, not production. Challenge for a lot of entrepreneurs these days and professionals, that a lot of you are chasing production. Let me be more productive. And you can be productive at doing a whole lot of nonsense, a whole lot of things that make you sweat, make you tired, and you're drained at the end of the day. But are they actually moving you, your business, or your career forward? The answer is no. The reason is because 80% of what you are doing is not producing much in terms of ROI. But if you focus on the 20% that's producing all the ROI and just do more of it, triple down, quadruple down, quintuple down on it, that's how you get more results. Now with that money, now you're making $400,000 a year. You can easily hire people to do the things that make up for that 80% that still needs to be done, like checking your email and all the administrative tasks. This is how you step up effectiveness rather than just production. You want to learn how to do more of this and do it in your business, in your career, and with your team. Go to the link in my profile, get to working with me directly in our system. I'll show you how it's done. Work on your game.